Hello folks, this is Solo speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is footage taken from the very last day of the PBE, the public beta environment, and this is supposedly on the patch that's going to be on the live client, but we are technically on PBE at the very end of the cycle. And in this game, we're going to be looking at another trait, one of the really interesting, fun traits here in set 12, this one being the Arcana trait, which I have not had a chance to feature up to this point in time yet. So I am in a double up game here with JDP El Grillo. We had been getting, this is the third game we did on this night, and we had just been getting game after game after game, which was high loot games, and we really just wanted to play a normal game. Fortunately, it is my choice, and we're going to get item payout, which just gives you, I think it's 2 gold every time you make a completed item. This one injects a little bit of additional econ into the game, but it really doesn't do that much. We've just been getting so many games with like crazy, insane nonsense with endless prismatic augments and artifacts and free champion drops and spatulas. It was just, we just wanted to play like a normal game of TFT, and thankfully we were able to do that here. All right, so I'm actually going to get 6 golden drops on the initial round here. I'm getting 2 Nunus, and then what was the third champion there? And then a Zillion here. But it turns out I'm going to go into a different direction. I'm going to end up going in this Arcana direction overall. Grillo is going to end up going in an Eldritch direction. He ended up getting, I think, 2 Eldritch champions immediately off the initial minion drop. Let's see. He got, he got a Neela, and he also got a Syndra. And so that suggests that you probably should go in the direction of looking to play Eldritch. Then here I get the first unit that's going to direct my game. I end up getting an Ahri right here. And then I have another Ahri in my store. And then Grillo also has an Ahri. So I just have a 2-star Ahri immediately out of the gate. And I was like, okay, I have a 2-star Ahri right now. Let me try to build my team composition around playing this unit. And so that's the direction I'm going to go in this game. Ahri's traits are Arcana and Scholar. And this is a trait that is kind of a late game trait overall. It's not really a trait that you play through in the early game, and that's because the Arcana trait has mostly high cost champions. It has a 2 cost, a 3 cost, a 4 cost, and a 5 cost, and then that's it. You don't get, there's no 1 cost, and there's only 1 of each unit, so it's a relatively small trait here. All right, I've got a chance to look at different options here. I would have taken the shields up, which increases the shielding of Vanguards, but if I'm going to play this board, I actually have to play into Bastion and not Vanguard, because Hecarim is one of the Arcana units, and he's a Bastion, not a Vanguard. So then I see this worth the wait, gain a random 1-cost champion. After 4 rounds, gain another copy of them at the start of each round for the rest of the game. And I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and take this, because nothing else I have really synergizes that well with this. And so I end up getting a Seraphine here. And that means that Seraphine is, I'm going to get 1 Seraphine initially, and then for the next couple of rounds, I won't get anything. I won't get any Seraphines. And then after that, I'm going to continuously get Seraphines for the rest of the game. And as soon as I see that, I was like, okay, I think I have a plan here. I'm going to try to reroll for Ahri 3-star. I'll go ahead and make a Jeweled Gauntlet. I'm happy to do that. And then I'm also going to try to reroll for a couple of other inexpensive units. But I did make a mistake. I actually leveled to level 4 there. And if I'm going to be rerolling for some 1-cost units, which I am going to do in this game, that's actually a mistake. You don't want to do that because it makes it harder to see the 1-cost units. The odds actually go down. It would be better to stay at level 3 for a little while longer. By the way, Zoe is in this fight with a Soraka, but she is going to win that. So I do make a bit of a mistake there. And as soon as I did that, I was like, you know, I tend to just level to level 4 by habit because I do so in most of my games, but that was not what I wanted to do here. And I am going to continue picking up some of these. So we are definitely going to play Bastion frontline. We need to play Bastion frontline because later on we're going to go into Hecarim. And as I said, Hecarim's the 2nd Arcana unit, the 3-cost Arcana. But he has Bastion traits, so I need to grab Bastion units here, and I might as well grab this Lilia as well. So I do have some synergies coming together. I can play Poppy and the Lilia for frontline, and then that will give me 2 Bastion. I can play Poppy plus the Zoe, and that gives me Witchcraft trait. And Zoe plus the Ahri gives me Scholar trait. And then this Seraphine, I'm going to be getting extra copies of Seraphine. If I play the Seraphine as well, that will put Fairy trait in play. If I put in Lilia, I don't have Lilia in right now. Fairy trait 2 is not going to do a whole lot, but you know, it's something. I'm going to get this 3-star unit out of my augment eventually. I might as well make use of it. So I can play that on the board, and that gives me a 3-star unit as well. The reason why this matters is Arcana, you actually can get a benefit for having multiple 3 stars on your board, is one of the things that this trait can do. The trait is actually flexible, can be played in different ways. And I'll talk more about that as the game goes on. But yeah, one of the ways that you can play it, and if you're going to be playing through Ahri, the way that you kind of need to play it is you get a team-wide benefit for having multiple 3 stars on your board. So anyway, I'm going to sell the new news that just arrays econ. I should have actually done that on our previous round. And now I'm at 2 out of 3 Poppies, 2 out of 3 Lilias, so, and 2 out of 3 Zoes, and also 2 out of 3 Seraphines. So it wouldn't, I mean, it's really nice I hit the 2-star Ahri this early. I had 2-star Ahri immediately, but I do kind of wish that I had better luck at 2-starring some of these. Still, it was partly my fault, because I did level to level 4 there, which was a mistake. So anyway, that is what it is. Anyway, so now we're going to continue onwards, and we have a minion round coming up here, or a carousel coming up here. So can I win this before they come in? I wasn't able to win before I got reinforced on, but fortunately the reinforcing board was pretty terrible. So somehow, even though I didn't think my board was that strong, I did win the initial 3 rounds here. So, okay. Now, the downside of that is that does mean we're last pick on the carousel. Grillo was hoping he could maybe get the Mordekaiser here because he's trying to play Eldritch, and Mordekaiser's the main frontliner for that board, but it gets snapped up immediately. And that's also bad for us because I really could use the tier. Ahri has low mana cost, so she really, really, really wants a blue buff. I could also try to make like a Shojin, but blue buff is definitely better, but none of those options are available. I have this unfortunate sword sitting on my bench, and one of the things that ended up plaguing this game is the game gave me tons of AD items, like a crazy amount of AD items throughout this game. And yeah, that was not great for my particular board. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send the Elise over to Grillo. In a normal game, I would go ahead and level to level 5 here. But again, I'm trying to reroll for cheap, inexpensive units, so I don't want to do that. And you know, there's not really any reason to level either because it takes a couple more rounds until I start getting those Seraphines. So I might as well wait a round or two here for Seraphine to come in. Until I have Seraphine 2-star, it's not that valuable of a unit. That said, other people are going to be leveling to level 5. I'm just trying to econ here. And typically when you play, when you're playing reroll champions, when you're rerolling for 1 cost, you tend to be pretty weak in the early game. And you usually lost streak a lot of the early rounds because other people are leveling and putting in additional units, whereas you are just trying to get to 50 gold as fast as possible so that you can start rerolling. So it's not surprising that I lose that round. I mean, it's not even remotely close. The unfortunate thing is like I said, I really have not hit too many of these units yet, but as I said, it was also my fault because I leveled early and made a mistake there. All right, anyway, while we're waiting here, let's go ahead and cover what Syndra's abilities look like because, as I said, she is kind of the featured unit in this video. Her traits are Arcana and Scholar. I'll talk more about the Arcana trait as the game goes on. There is, I now started getting the Seraphines for free. They're going to keep popping up every single round for the rest of the game, which is pretty funny. Anyway, so Ahri, she actually has a passive, which gives her 30% bonus ability power from all sources. It's kind of interesting. So she just innately gets additional AP. I'm not really sure why she has this. I think that they could have just maybe increased her numbers a little higher. But I mean, I guess it means is that if you itemize her, she gets more of a benefit from being itemized in other units. Anyway, ability is called Orb of Perception, not Deception. Fire an orb towards the target, dealing magic damage. After hitting an enemy, it returns, dealing true damage. So it's basically her Q from standard League of Legends. Fires out the orb, it goes out, and then it comes back again. Deals true damage on the return cast, which I think is only like every 3 casts in normal league, something like that. It's been a long time since I played Ahri. It's not a crazy ability. It is mostly single target, although I guess she can hit multiple targets with it. The true damage is the real nice thing. She gets, like I said, that extra damage is true damage on the return portion of the cast. But her mana cost is only 35. And by the way, I see a Mordekaiser in the store, so that's going to be a nice send for Grillo. And now I can finally put the Seraphine on the board. Unfortunately, I am level 5. But that means I can now start slow rolling for some of my units. As I said, her mana cost is only 35, so she really wants a blue buff. Ideally, you'd give her blue buff plus like Gnasher's Tooth, and then, I don't know, Death Cap or Jeweled Gauntlet or something like that. Those would be the items you want. I mean, Shojin's not terrible on her, but I do think blue buff is definitely better for a champ that has a 35 mana cost, Because although I guess Shojin's not as bad because now the mana carries over from round to round, from cast to cast. Previously, any extra mana got wasted on a cast. So like if you generated 10 mana on an auto attack and you were at like 39 out of 40, previously you would just go to 40 and the extra 9 would get wasted. That is no longer the case. I could also get a random uncraftable, I could get a random emblem there. I opted not to pick that up. I did think about it. And by the way, I'm on 6 Ahris already. That's pretty wild. So I'm hitting the Ahris, but unfortunately I'm kind of not quite hitting some of the other units. I do have 2 I'm up to 5 Seraphines, and I'm guaranteed to hit the Seraphines. But remember what I said about items? I ended up getting a glove and a bow off of that round, which is really not what I was looking for. A bow and a glove is really not good here. The bow is quite bad because, as I said, I'm a spellcasting comp here. There's not a lot I can do. The only thing I can really do with a bow is make a Gnasher's Tooth, so I will look to do that, and Gnasher's Tooth is going to be good on Ahri, but like I can't really do anything with it right now, and any item other than the Gnasher's Tooth is basically going to be useless on Ahri. So, I mean, I guess I could maybe do Rage Blade, but that doesn't seem to be that good. Then I also have a sword on my bench, and then I also have a glove, and the glove is not very helpful because I've already made a Jeweled Gauntlet. Like, that's the main thing you do with a glove in a spellcasting comp is you make Jeweled Gauntlet from it, and I've already made a Jeweled Gauntlet, so I have an extra glove, so maybe I can Thief's Glove somebody, but it's not looking so great. All right, now it's time for our second augment, and again, you have my sword. It's like, no, I don't want more swords. No. I could take Blossoming Lotus, but I don't think that that's great either. And Vertically Inclined, maybe. I'll take Combat Caster, which I didn't really want, but I might as well. And I'm picking up the Charm here mostly just so... Okay, I paid 1 gold to get a 2 gold Rumble. Mostly I just wanted Charms not to appear in my shop because I'm rerolling here. And that's one thing to keep in mind. If you're rerolling, you often just want to buy Charms because then they will stop showing up in the store. And that makes things a lot better. By the way, there's a Kaisa. That would be so... Or a Callista. That would be so nice in some other games, but... I can't really do anything with it in this game. I'm kind of locked into this Arcana board that I'm playing here. There's another Seraphine. I was like, is it even worthwhile to buy this? It means I hit Seraphine 3-star 1 round earlier. I was hoping that I would win this round because I did drop from 50 to 49 gold. But I was like, all right, I guess it's worthwhile to pick this up. Even though I am guaranteed to get the Seraphines coming in. All right, so in terms of traits, Bastion, Fairy, Scholar, Witchcraft, again, we're still on PBE, although this is about to... Actually, by the time this video is posted, it's going to be on the live client. But... it's still super early in the set. So to cover what these traits do, Bastion is a frontline tank trait. Bastion units get armor and magic resistance. They give a small amount to the whole team, and then they get an increased amount. It's not a lot at Bastion 2, but you know, it's kind of your standard tank trait. By the way, look at this Grillo's team not focus firing here. That Jax has 5 HP, 3 units also low. His team did not focus fire at all. They're also going to get 2 Syndras here. But I wanted to, I asked him if he wanted the Syndra or the Mordekaiser, and he really wanted the Mordekaiser because that lets him play 5 Eldritch. Eldritch is the trait that, and again, I buy that Charm largely just to get it out of the way, so it won't appear in the store. And here's a Lilia and a Zoe, so I can pick that up. Like I said, I'm kind of fumbling my points here. The Eldritch team composition is this set's version of the as you play more units, it gives you an additional unit to play. Like, I don't know, things like Cultist in the past, and I don't know, there's been like a ton of these traits. Country in set 10. There's been a whole bunch of these traits where there's usually one in every set, where as you play more of the units, you get a additional unit that comes in and reinforces your board over time. So Grillo's playing that in this game, and we'll see the Eldritch unit that he gets on a number of these fights throughout the game because he's got that coming in. And getting up to Eldritch 5 is a pretty big jump over Eldritch 3, which is what he had in before. And like I said, Mordekaiser's the main tank in that team composition. I am running out of bench space. Fortunately, we were able to win that round together. And that's good because that was a win against the team that was in first place and is win streaking. So anything we can do to stop them is helpful. Now, here's the bad news. We have enough health that I'm still last pick. Again, I really, really, really want a tier here. I would desperately like to get a tier. That would really be helpful for my board. Or maybe at least a rod here. So is the tier going to be available? Grillo's going to go ahead and get... Grillo also got a spatula, so he can make an Eldritch emblem. So again, I really want this tier, but that's going to get grabbed. So I was like... All right. Well, I will go ahead and take the Hecarim, so at least I can play Hecarim. Hecarim will be my next unit in, and he will finally put Arcana trait in play. But I don't want to. I won't have that until I hit level 6. So there's no need right now. At least I did hit the 3-star Seraphine, so that's nice. I'm just gonna hold the Hecarim for right now. I've also picked up an extra gloves because if I can't make a if I don't want to make another Jeweled Gauntlet, I can at least make a Thief's Glove with this. I could also get an anvil here, like a component anvil, and that might be nice because I might be able to pull like a tier out of it. But it's 8 gold, and I was like, all right, I'll spend it, even though it cuts into my rerolling. But once again, no tier, no rod, almost entirely AD items here. So I was like, you know what? I really need to kill this bow. I just have no use for this bow, so I'll make the Gnasher's Tooth, and then I'll go ahead and make the Thief's Glove, and I do get 4 gold back from that. So it cost 6 gold to buy the component anvil, but then I got 2 back. Or it cost 8 gold to buy the component anvil, and I got 2 back. So it effectively cost 6 gold. I don't think that that's bad. Getting the Thief's Glove definitely helps my front line. Again, my front line's really hurting right now. And the Gnasher's Tooth is great. I really do want a Gnasher's Tooth. But I just would like to get a tier so I can make Shojin. I mean, forget the blue buff. The blue buff is better on Ahri. But if I could just get 1 tier, I can make Spear of Shojin. And that would just help out her casting so much. There's a lot of natural synergy between the Gnasher's Tooth and a potential Spear of Shojin because Gnasher's Tooth gives you additional attack speed. Shojin means you generate more mana on each auto attack. So that combination, it looks pretty good. In the meantime, though, I'm just continuing to slow roll here. I hit the Seraphine. I was guaranteed to hit Seraphine. By the way, I continue to get Seraphines every round. That does not stop. So I asked the Grillo for 2 components. What do I get? A sword and a rod. I was like, I mean, okay, the rod is good. The rod I can use, but another sword? The game just will not stop giving me swords here. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and make a Gunblade. By the way, I do think this was a mistake. What I should have done is I should have made a Ionic Spark on the Poppy, and then I should have held the swords because I might have been able to get a tier for Spear of Shojin. So that was definitely a mistake. Should have made the Ionic Spark because frontline is what I need, and Ahri could have been more flexible with that final item spot. The Gunblade is not bad, certainly not bad, but a Shojin would have been a lot better here. So as I said, I think I jumped the gun a little bit there, and I should have been looking to get more frontline because that's my biggest weakness right now. Items for Ahri maybe could come later. But I need my frontline not to die in like 3 seconds, and that's why I'm still losing these rounds. Ahri did a lot of damage, but as I said, my frontline is just terrible right now. I just have a 2-star Poppy and a 2-star Lilia. They're both 1-cost units, and one of them has a Thief's Glove, and the other one has just a cloak. It's like, yeah, that's not really gonna get it done very well. Still, I am getting closer on some of these units. I do have 6 Zoes. I still have the 7 Ahris. There's another Poppy, and there's another Ahri. So I am getting close here. Definitely would like to hit some of these, but I need to hit at least one of these units. I'd ideally hit the Poppy and the Zoe. Lilia would be nice too, but I'm not really seeing Lilias that much. And by the way, yes, I did get another Seraphine there. I continue to get a Seraphine every single round, so I will get 1 additional gold for the rest of the game because I can just keep selling these as they come in. The Seraphine's actually on my bench. I keep kind of forgetting that the Seraphine is there. And by the way, then a tier pops up, and I was like, yeah, I messed that up. I should have made the Spark, and then I could have made the Spear of Shojin right now, and that would have been a lot better. Anyway, though, so we want to sell that, and then sell the other Seraphine, and then I can take this. I get some additional health on one of those units, so I'll drop the Mordekaiser for bench space. There's another Lilia, but Lilia is kind of the least important unit, so I don't need to pick that up. Yeah, I wish I could grab these Lilias, but I can't. Again, I'd love to get these Mordekaisers for Grillo, but I don't have bench space for these. There's another Poppy. Again, I'm rolling it down. I just want one more Syndra because I'm on 8 out of 9, or one more Ahri. I'm on 8 out of 9. And I'll go ahead and now use the tier to make a static shift. I probably should have made a Spear of Shojin there for the Zoe, because what else am I going to do with this sword? I'm not sure why I made like I said, I didn't get a lot of tiers in this game, but I could have made better itemization choices. I guess I was once again thinking, I don't really know how to use this bow. I'll just make a static shiv, but definitely could have made some better choices with these items than I actually did. But I do have the 3-star Seraphine. And I am getting close on the other side. I really should pick up this Zoe. Did I remember to pick this up? I could sell the Lilia and pick up this Zoe. I guess I let that slide because I'm closer on the Zoe. Now, amusingly, I get Pandora's items, but it's very late in the game to get Pandora's items. I don't like taking this for the last augment choice. Then I see this higher education. Every time your scholars spend 100 mana, all scholars gain 10% attack speed, and it's going to give me an Ahri. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll happily take that. And then this Zoe makes 3-star Zoe, and then I'm 1 off on the Poppy now, or I'm 2 off on the Poppy. So I'm looking for that. I also can take this charm. There's a Poppy, so I was like, Grillo, can you send me the last Poppies? So all of a sudden, I hit 3-star Ahri, I hit 3-star Zoe, and I hit 3-star Poppy, all back to back to back. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in Hecarim, and now I'm going to start leveling, because now I'm able to get in Arcana trait. As I said, Arcana does something different for each unit that you play. And by the way, I desperately need frontline, so we're going to take the Gargoyle Stoneplate here. Arcana does something different for each one of the units. You get the little thing that looks, it's like a glowing red icon on the left side of the screen. I think it looks a little bit like an hourglass, but that's just me. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to be. So each one of the units gives you a different function. You have to pick one of the Arcana units to get the functions. Ahri's is your team gains ability power for each 3-star champion on the board. So the more 3-star champs you have, and the more ranks of Arcana trait you have, the more ability power you have. So right now at Arcana 2, I believe I get 10 AP and then another 5 for each 3-star that's on my board. So I think I have 4 3-star units, so I believe I'm getting 30 ability power. I'd have to double check that. I have the cheat sheet in front of me, but it does not list all of the information, unfortunately. And yes, I'm still getting Seraphines each round. I wish that we had real replay so I could just highlight the trait right now, but I cannot. Yes, 10 plus 5 per 3-star, but you can see at the higher ranks you get more. I'm targeting Arcana 4, which is 20 ability power plus 15 per 3-star. So I could get 20 and then another 15 for each 3-star at Arcana 4. So what would that be? That would be like 80 ability power, and that goes to the entire team. That's not just for the Arcana units. So if you can get a bunch of 3-stars and play high into tiers of this trait, this actually does start to become really, really strong down the road. And a bunch of the Arcana units are just really good units in and of themselves. Like Tom Kench is the top Vanguard. He doesn't actually tank that great, but he does have a really good crowd control in his ability. It's a shame that I can't make him a Bastion. That would be really nice if I could make him a Bastion, but he is a Vanguard instead. Because I'd like to play 4 Bastion here. And then Zareth is the 5-cost Arcana, and he just does all kinds of damage. So he's a really good late game unit. He's kind of one of the units everybody uses to cap out their boards. Anyway, once again, a tier would be nice, but tier's not there. And I would really like to get now a frontline item, but most of the frontline stuff isn't there. I would have happily taken that Melio, but that's not there. So I can get another sword or a glove. So I'm going to have to take the glove. I'm like, so many freaking swords this game. I've already killed already killed 1 sword, and now I still have another one on my bench. And and then I had the option to take a 3rd sword off that carousel. It was just nothing but swords endlessly. I was like, Jesus, I don't want these swords. But anyway, there's a Shen in my store, so I'm going to go ahead and put him on the board for 4 Bastion, and then I'll look to see what I can do to improve things from there, basically. But hopefully 4 Bastion will improve my front line. I actually think my damage capacity is pretty good. Biggest issue is my front line is still very sketchy. Even with the 3-star Poppy, she doesn't really have much in the way of items. So yeah, not that great. This board is playing through a 3-star unit as well, 3-star Akali. They have 5 multi-striker, 4 warrior. And this isn't really a board that I've seen too much of, but what's it called? The Akali is quite strong, so I really need my Ahri to focus that unit. I am getting gold every time one of my units dies, which is pretty funny. So we got that unit really low. Ahri, just toss your ult at the Akali, please. Ahri, just toss your ult at the Akali, and no. No, she really did not do a very good job of focusing Akali. Akali went low multiple times in that fight, but kept healing up, thanks to getting the Steric health benefit and the Bloodthirster shield. So I went ahead and leveled to 7 because I was hoping I could maintain win streak, but then that didn't happen. So that's a bit unfortunate. Over there, Grillo has managed to get up to 7 Eldritch, so that means he's going to get the Volibear, And I believe he has an augment that causes he has an augment that causes the Eldritch unit to get items themselves. Now, normally the Eldritch unit that comes in, which, by the way, at Eldritch 7 is Volibear, normally that unit does not get items. Normally it's just, like a big tank that comes in, like most of these other traits. Like, I don't know, when you, like I said, would get like the Hecarim coming in set 10 for country trait. It doesn't come in with items, but now the augment he has actually does cause it to come in with items. So yeah, that's definitely going to make that unit a lot stronger. And his board is in pretty good shape. We just would like to see if we could find him like a Briar or something for his, because that's the 5-cost Eldritch unit. He's also looking for, he has found one Nami. He's also going to look to play through Nami. Nami is the 4-cost Eldritch unit. She's also a mage. Briar is the 5-cost, and Briar is a shapeshifter, as well as Eldritch. Does she have a third trait? I can't remember if Briar has a third trait or not. Hold on. She has a unique trait. Okay, she's Eldritch shapeshifter, and then she has a unique trait called Ravenous, which means that you can pay health to give her additional. You can pay your tactician health, like the little thing on the right-hand side of the screen, to increase her HP total, which sometimes is worth doing and sometimes is not. All right, so we've got another minion round here. It's like, okay, what kind of items am I going to get here? Well, okay, Galio, that's just cellbait in this game. Swain, that's cellbait in this game. And then, a Xerath. Okay, well, that's really good. Getting Xerath is absolutely outstanding. So I will take that. And, I mean, he's literally the 5-cost Arcana unit, so we're going to put him on the board. And then now I need to try to get items for him. Again, I really was hoping I could pull a tier here, and then I could make Spear of Shojin for Xerath. I could do Spear of Shojin plus, could have done Spear of Shojin plus, what's it called? Jeweled Gauntlet for him. But no, once again, tier is not an option here. So I was like, all right. I mean, I think the only thing I can really do is Thief's Glove him. In retrospect, I think I should have played this differently as well. I think the Thief's Glove should have gone on one of the frontliners, and then I think I should have tried to build actual items for Hecarim. And I could have tried to itemize Hecarim, or not Hecarim, Xerath, because Xerath is such a strong unit. But I think I should have been trying to build real items for Xerath, and I could have put the Thief's Glove on a frontliner, because frontline's my weakness, and then I would prefer to have actual real items on Xerath, as opposed to the Redemption plus Titan's Resolve that he rolled that round, which is utterly useless. Anyway, I'm up to 47 AP now coming in from Arcana trait, and if I can get the last unit on the board, the Tom Kench, then by the way, there's a Tom Kench, so I can hold that. But I don't really have a good way to get that in. I could drop the 4 Bastion. That's what I end up doing, dropping the 4 Bastion. So I'll just be happy to play the Tom. I'm also picking up these Syndras because Grillo's getting close to Syndra 3-star. And what's my Arcana benefit now? Hopefully my past self will highlight this. I really would like to get the additional ability power. Now that I get just 2-star some more of these units. I still have 1-star Hecarim. I've had Hecarim, let's see, I'm getting 68 ability power. Okay, 20 plus 12 per 3-star. So I get 68 AP across the whole team. If I could somehow get an emblem for the 5 Arcana, I think that would go up to 100 ability power. So even though Xerath does not have any items, he's still really strong even without it. Imagine if I had him properly itemized. That's my big problem in this game. My itemization was really weak. I think that if I had played the same game and had real itemization, that we would have just, I don't know, probably won this lobby going away. But instead it would actually end up being a lot closer than that, because I just could not seem to get the items that I wanted on the champions that I was playing. Even though I was able to get the champions I wanted, I wasn't able to get the items I wanted. All right, anyway, so we got a charm here. Reroll your shop with champions 1 cost higher. I definitely should have done this just to see if I could get something, because the Karma would become a 5 cost, and it's worthwhile to spend 2 gold just to see a 5 cost champ. All right, so I'm going to get a Tom Kench send coming over from Golos. That gives me 2 out of 3 Toms. Now, again, I'm on 2 out of 3 Hecarims. I still have not hit the Hecarim 2-star. 2 out of 3 Toms. And then I still have this Xerath as well, but only the 1-star Xerath. So I would definitely like to get to level 9 so I can get back up to 4 Bastion. As I said, my frontline situation is pretty bad. Pretty bad. I do a lot of damage, but I cannot take a hit at the moment, so I really, really want to improve that. I have not seen Taric yet, who is the 4-cost Bastion. I have not seen Diana yet, who's the 5-cost Bastion. So I have not seen any of these units. And again, you see the issue here is my front line just dies too fast, unfortunately. That person is playing a mage board, and they had 2-star Mage Nami. Fortunately, Grillo was able to win that. He's been on a big win streak, and he's kind of been keeping our board alive. So there's some good stuff here. I mean, there's a Nora on this carousel. That might be interesting, although I'm not playing mages. There's also a Warmogs, which would not be bad because I need frontline, but then I see something I think is even better, and that is a Bastion emblem. So remember how I said I wanted to play 4 Bastion? This means I can play 4 Bastion, and I do not have to play a unit like Shen or like Tarek, although I probably want to play Tarek. I can just turn Tahm Kench into a Bastion, so that way he will get all the Bastion defensive bonuses, and he can stay on my board, and now I get to play another unit on level 9. So I don't have to play like Shen. I can play a better unit instead. So I think that that's quite good. Anyway, yeah, it won't go on Hecarim. He's already a Bastion unit, so that won't do anything. But I will put that on Tahm Kench, and now I don't need to worry about that Shen. So that also lets me get to level 9 a little bit faster. I can't remember if I waited until after the minion round or not. I don't really have a good unit to put in, but there's a number of good possibilities of units that I could look to play on level 9. Could also look to play another Vanguard. I could play there is no 5-cost Vanguard, so can't really look to do that. But I could just play like a generically good unit over there. We're still looking for more Namis for Grillo. We're still looking for another Syndra. He is on 7 Syndras. He's on 7 Neelas for his board. So he's almost hit some 3-stars. He's kind of been leaning on the Eldritch unit itself, the Volibear coming in, over some of these other units. By the way, this person's board feels pretty strong. They have, I don't know how many multi-strikers in. They have double multi-striker emblems. They actually cut through my board like it's not even there. Again, remember what I said, my front line is my weakness. If you don't have front line, you die really, really fast. But Grillo's able to come in and save me yet again. As I said, his board was a lot stronger. He has Talisman of Ascension Karma in the back there. And that's a big win because we knocked that team out of the lobby. And they're now down to just us and one other team here at the end of the game. We also have a lot more health than this other team. All right, this round, the next champion you buy is free. That's kind of nice as well. So, we have doing the second half of the gift round. So I'm going to get, I get 2 components from Grillo. What do I get? Another sword. I'm like, what is with all these swords? Can I get something that's not a terrible item here? I was like, geez. And then because the next champ I buy is free, I want to reroll a little bit here to see if I can hit something. I was like, all right, okay. And then I see a Camille. I was like, okay, well, that's not a possibility, but I'll at least pick up the Hecarim 2-star. I don't know that I actually really saved any money with that, but at least I was able to hit a unit that I'm trying to play. Still, like, the fact that I just struggled so much with items in this game, I did make some suboptimal choices, but at the same time, it just felt like every time I was looking for something from a component anvil, it just never gave me what I wanted. Or like in that gift round, I just could not get what I was looking for. So it was pretty frustrating to say the least. As I said, I felt like I kind of built a fairly good board. As you see me narrowly lose to that mage's board over there. Unfortunately, we double lost that round, which is not what we want. But I do finally see Tarek. Now, the correct play is to start moving out of the Lilia, who is a 1-cost unit, and replacing Lilia with a better Bastion. Anyway, I'm going to send the Syndra, and that's going to be 3-star Syndra over there on Grillo's board. That's definitely going to help. But I definitely would like to play I definitely should drop the Lilia in favor of Tarek. Tarek is a much better unit. He's a 4-cost Bastion as opposed to a 1-cost Bastion. Now, if I had 3-starred the Lilia, it might be a different story, but I did not 3-star the Lilia. That's just a 2-star Lilia over there. So there's really no particular reason to hold that unit. And I can put the Thief's Glove that's on her on a much better target. Anyway, I will be able to go level 9 here. So we'll do that. I'm going to buy the Trenchcoat Big Surprise, largely just so I can stop seeing charms. All right, there's a Nora, so I'll put that on the board as well, although it doesn't really make any traits. Now I'm at 2 out of 3 Mage, 2 out of 3 Portal, but if I put Tarek on the board, I can get Portal Trade in. I could also get Portal Trade in from playing Rise, but it makes more sense to put the Tarek on the board. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing here. All right, let's see. So we'll go through. And then there's multiple Camille's there. I mean, I maybe could have tried to play that, but I'm not really playing into Chrono as well. I also still have an Artifact Anvil to pull, and I made 2-star Rise. I could put Rise on the board to get Portal Trade in, and I do have a 2-star Rise. He is a Scholar, and I am playing Scholar trait, but I was like, I don't really see what I would take out to play Rise, though, because like I don't want to take out the Zoe. She's a 3-star, and she's also giving me Witchcraft trait and currently Scholar trait. So I don't really think I want to take out that in favor of Rise, because I would lose some of my Arcana benefit to drop a 3-star unit. And unfortunately, we're going to lose this unit round as well. So it did look like we kind of had this game sealed up, but then the other team kind of came charging back as I'm still trying to fiddle with my board. There's a Briar, by the way, which would be good for Grillo's board. So then I realized it's like, yes, I should definitely put the Taric in. This will put Portal Trade in, and then I was like, I guess that means I'm not playing the Rise. And by the way, look at this. This round rerolls cost 1 gold, so I'll definitely take that. Okay, there's another Mordekaiser. We were trying to get Mordekaiser 3-star over there on Grillo's board, so I'll roll through here, but again, unfortunately I don't really see anything, so I should sell the Rise and keep rerolling while the rerolls only cost 1 gold. I can't remember if I remembered to do... I believe I did not realize to do that. All right, there we go. But I need to reroll right now because they only cost 1 gold right now, and I don't think I remembered to do that, unfortunately. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab an item here. Again, I probably should be putting items on Xerath, but I can't do that, so... I already have a Thief's Glove on him as he rolls the Hurricane plus Deathblade combo. Good items to roll there, by the way. I'll go ahead and put this Adaptive Helm on Nora. And yeah, man, I wish I had remembered that my rerolls only cost 1 gold this round, because I really should have been rerolling while they were super cheap here. But I think I just forgot about that. So I would have lost this round. It would have been a close loss, but Grillo was able to come over and save the day. But, of course, I was watching the fight and not rerolling, so I kind of waste the cheap rerolls there. Now, there's also Emilio here. And there's a Xerath. Now I can reroll with all 5 costs, but look at this. It's like, now I can pick up the Nora here. But look, now I have a Tom pair. I have a Taric pair. I have a Xerath pair. And I have a Nora pair, plus this extra sword that's... I just cannot do anything with all the swords that have been on my bench. Meanwhile, Grillo is on 8 out of 9 Mordekaisers. And I have 1 more Mord here. So if we ever get the send back... I can go ahead and send that to him. So, like, I'm really close to being super strong, but, like, if I could just get Taric 2, Tom 2, so my front line held up, and then get another Xerath, it would make such a big difference. Because the reason why I'm losing these fights is my front line can't hang in there long enough, especially against this board being played by Charmander. Charmander is playing a 6 warrior board. And 6 warriors is, they're all melee units on a 6 warrior board. It's basically like playing a challenger's board from earlier sets. And now because I lose so badly, I caused Grillo to lose, and he would have won that round over there. But it's just a bad matchup for me, because if you're up against a team that's like all melee damage dealers, and your front line is weak, I mean, you just get bowled over, and that's what's been happening in these rounds, because my front line is just not good enough, especially against that board. I actually do better against the Mage board, which being played by Squirtle, or Squirtle-lee, I don't know what that is. Charmander and Squirtle, great names for a PBE account. The good news is there was a Xerath on the carousel. It was on a with a Honeymancer emblem, which is utterly useless for me, but I mean, it's still good. I still need Xerath 2-star, so okay, now I'm gonna roll, and I definitely should buy that charm. I don't know why I didn't buy that charm. It was reroll your shop with champions 1 cost higher. And there were 2 4 costs in the shop. They would have become 5 costs. So a lot of mistakes in this game. As I said, it's still really early in the set, but a lot of things could have been done better. I also have not paired the Yuumi with anyone. It really should be paired with the Ahri, I believe. Nora's ability is, Nora's ability is just she casts and deals magic damage, but she comes with Yuumi, and you can attach Yuumi to an ally. What is Yuumi's official description here? Let me see if I can find that, because it's so early in the set. I still don't have much experience playing with Yuumi. Let's see. I'm looking at the cheat sheet here. I'm trying to find it. The trait is called Best Friends. What does this do? Best Friends. Nora summons Yuumi to help your team. She can be attached to allies. Yuumi shares her ability power with Nora, dies when Nora does. Okay. Anyway, that was a super close round, but I was just barely able to win that one, and that's super crucial because now their team is at 1 HP and our team is at 1 HP, so whoever wins the next round is going to win the game. I was able to buy a charm that's going to be helpful here, and we know it's the last round of the game, so there's no point in holding anything. Grillo has the send. He actually does have an extra Tom Kench. So there we go. I was able to hit Taric 2, Tom 2, and that's really, really critical here because I need that front line. I'm going to be up against that Warriors board again. I need the front line to hold up long enough for me to kill them. All right, so this is the 6 Warrior board. As I said, this is the bad matchup for me. I have a much better matchup against the Mage board. I think the Mage board is a little bit weaker, so we need to kill that Fiora. We need to kill that Gwen. We need to kill that 3-star Akali. And can Xerath get off one more cast? All right, Xerath was able to get off most of his cast before he died. Now it's down to just Ahri, and on the other board, it's down to just Gwen. But oh, here comes Grillo. It's Ahri against the Gwen. It looks like I lose, but here comes Grillo. Here comes Volibear and Syndra. And Volibear has got this one to polish it off. So we double win the last round. My board was able to hang in there just long enough for Grillo to come in and reinforce. And that's going to be enough to get a very, very close first place finish in this game. A very entertaining game. I wish I could have shown a little bit more of Grillo's Eldritch board, but again, we do not have true replays in Teamfight Tactics, and I had to spend so much time fiddling with my own board that I was not really able to do a lot of scouting or look at some other boards. So overall, I was reasonably happy with the way this game played out. A lot of mistakes in here. Again, it's very early in the set. I wish I'd been able to do more with itemization. I think that if my team had proper items, I could have just kind of wiped a lot of these fights easily, but Xerath not having real items, Ahri not having a blue buffer, Spear of Shojin, it really hurt me in the end. I do think my team was quite strong at the finish line, but it took a long time to get there, and I really wish my items had been better in this game, but what can you do? Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's hope we have a good upcoming set. Until then, take care, folks, and I will see you again soon.